go and change this right quick. I gotta change this right quick. Oh man. Now my computer going slow. I don't got time for this shit to be going slow today. I do not have time. Let me go and change. Bro, what is all this? Bro, what am I doing? What's going on? What's going on? Isaiah, what's up? Bro. I don't know why this is going so slow today. Like, dang. That's not even the title I want. I guess I could change the title from here. Honestly, I could change the title from OBS. You know, it's just going slow. That's not even the title I want. I could change the title from here. Bro, what the hell is going on? OBS. You know, it's just going slow. Cam, what's up? Wesley, what's up? What the hell is going on? Alright, let's see if this shit gonna work. Six eights. 6 8s. Yeah, no, I love my 6 8s. Well, y'all probably don't know that, but I love my 6 8 bills. Okay, put this phone on YouTube, this phone on Twitch. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Turner, what's up? Blake, what's up? All right, hopefully everything is working fine because I've been going through it. Let's go Joe Knows first. Then we're going to 6/8.
App with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform. Describe what you want, and watch it take.
The NBA 2K26 My Player Builder breakdown. Drop a like on the video for me. Let's try to get this to 20,000 likes. Now, first things first, the layout looks a little different, but for the most part, it works the same. You got your height, weight, wingspan. You can change that in the main menu. This is the first screen that you see, but I recommend pressing the bumper to get the detailed view. The detailed view is going to allow you to see not only your body types, but more importantly, the badges that are going to be able to unlock with your height, weight, and wingspan. And also it shows you the badge tiers, which is even more important this year with the Badge Max +1 and +2 perks. Your badge tiers are going to matter. We'll get more into detail of how you can utilize those and what you should be paying attention to, because some of the badges have switched to different tiers at certain heights than last year, so it's not all the same that you're used to from 2K25. But navigating these menus was a little clunky at first. There's so many things to expand and change tabs and stuff like that. You kind of get used to it after a little while, but right off the bat, it's going to be a little confusing. So when you press triangle, you're going to bring up this menu here that has badges, takeovers, and then build by badges. But when you're over the badges tab, if you press square, that's going to expand it and give you the badge layout.
Yes, sir. What's up,
Tier 1, Tier 2, and as you upgrade your attributes, then you could see which badges are being upgraded, you know, pretty much the standard stuff that we're used to from 2K25, but you gotta kind of open all those tabs to be able to see it. But once you get those tabs open, as you put the attributes up, you see the badges, yada, yada, yada. Let's move on to 3-point thresholds, and these have changed. Taller builds can get higher 3-point ratings, but let's go through it. So the tallest you can be to get Legend Limitless is still 6'5". The tallest you can be to get Gold Limitless is still 6'6". But after that, you can get Silver Limitless on every single height in the game. Yes, a 7'4" center can get Silver Limitless, and then you start thinking Badge Max +2, Hall of Fame Limitless. Y'all see where we're going with this. But, so the taller builds can get the higher 3 balls. Also, when we start to look at takeovers, that's going to affect what the tall builds can get takeover-wise. And pretty much a 7'1" can get a 93-point rating, which, as you're going to see in a second, unlocks Deep Bomber. 7'2", 7'3", 7'4" get 89 3 balls, so that doesn't unlock Deep Bomber. But 7'1s, you can have a 7'1" minimum wingspan with Deep Bomber. Pretty crazy. Let's keep going. Wingspans have changed. The max wingspan is 6 inches above your player's height. That is from the shortest to the tallest player. It is universal. I know last year, like 7'1" got like an extra 2 inches compared to 7 foot. Everything goes up by 1 inch. It's 6 inches above the height of your player. Also, the 3-point thresholds have gone up for max wingspan players, probably partly due to the fact that wingspans are a little smaller now, but I think it's also just higher 3-point ratings for taller builds and stuff like that. Takeovers, as I said, you can get Deep Bomber on a 7'1". Make sure when you're making your builds, you are looking at the takeover requirements. It is whatever ability you want, it is the same. I know last year there was like different takeovers that had the same takeover ability, had different attribute threshold like unlocks. Not this year. Whatever takeover ability you want, it is the same requirement regardless of your build. There is no, regardless of the takeover that you choose or custom takeover, the ability is the same rating. So Deep Bomber is 93 pointer. So you got to make sure your build is able to get that if you want to get Deep Bomber. Another example is Blur. Blur is 85 ball handle, 80 speed with ball. So make sure you're looking at these requirements when you're making your build. Very, very important to make sure you get the takeover ability that you want so that you have access to it when you do your custom takeover, or if you're somebody that decides to not use custom takeover, or if you're somebody that doesn't want to use custom takeover, you still got to unlock the ability by meeting the requirements if you use a regular takeover. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, When you look at the takeovers, pay attention. Some of them have changed. Some of them have been combined.
So sour.
You have, let's say, for example, last year, See the Future was part of the rebounding badge. See the Future is now part of Rim Guardian badge. You also have, like, the brick wall take is now part of the rebounding takeover. I'm not using the specific names. Obviously, you know, you look at the list, you can do it, but I'm just giving the generality so it's easy for everyone to understand. You also have, like, the defensive take. It's a combination of both. It boosts your bumps on the ball and your steals this year. So they combine some of the takeovers. Some of them stayed the same, like Deep Bomber is still Deep Bomber, Blur is still Blur, and the layup one is still the layup one. But some of them have been combined, and, you know, like, I think it's like the Sharpshooter one. That one also boosts your ankle breakers now. So that's like the combination of, I think it was called Marksman and Silky Shooter from 2K25. So make sure you're paying attention to the takeovers because the abilities have changed. Some of them have like new names and stuff, but I'm talking more specifically about what they actually do for you. Make sure you're paying attention to it so that you get what you want, because if you just go based off last year, there's a good chance that you're going to mess it up. But I'm going to scroll down the list here, and you guys can look at it if you want to pause the video and read some of the descriptions and really analyze the attributes and stuff like that. But pretty much we'll scroll to the bottom of the list, so at least you can just see all the takeover options. But if you're like me, I'm pretty much just worried about the abilities, because I'm going to be unlocking that custom takeover, and then I'm going to be putting up the attributes that I want to put up while getting the ability that I want. I know for maybe some more casual players that's probably like a little bit tedious, and maybe you don't even want to have to worry about that. But I know for everybody out there that's like more of a, you know, a sweaty player, or not even sweaty, but just you play 2K a lot, you're going to want to do the custom takeover to boost the attributes that you want and then get the ability that you want. But like I said, make sure you're paying attention to the ability unlocks, because they are different from last year. Meet those requirements, you'll get the takeover that you want. Let's keep it moving. Next up, let's talk about the new feature. They talked about the animation glossary. Now, I know this probably doesn't sound important right off the rip, especially for the more knowledgeable players, but trust me, it is valuable. A lot of dribble move and dunk move requirements have changed. So when you're in here, I definitely recommend using it, at least until you memorize. Well, maybe you don't memorize them. I usually end up memorizing them, but that's a topic for another day. But I would definitely recommend using this. You could scroll through and see, you know, like I said, dribble moves, dunk move, you know, everything that you want, all the requirements for it, and a lot of it has changed. Something I noticed too is it seems like, and this could be inaccurate, but from what I saw, players' dribble moves all have the same requirement. So it's not like, let's say you want Kobe's escape. Kobe's escape, Kobe's crossover, Kobe's behind the back, Kobe's hezzy. Everything has the same ball handle requirement for each player. There's not like a different requirement for his escape and then his behind the back. From what I saw, everything was the same requirement for each player. You know, all the Durant SIGs were all the same ball handle requirements. Now check this out. A very important small detail here that they changed this year, and I noticed this scrolling through the animation glossary. Standing dunk requirements, although the rating is the same, you have to be 6'5" now. So 6'4" and under cannot equip standing dunks. That's a big change. Those 6'4" locks cutting out the corner, you know, getting those quick standing dunks, small guards being able to get to the dead zone and then go up with that standing dunk cheese. I mean, if you can't equip standing dunks, it's going to be much more. You could probably still trigger an animation here or there, but it's not nearly going to be as consistent as it was in past games. So I feel like that is a small detail that's going to have a big impact, especially in competitive gameplay. 6'5" and up to get standing dunks in 2K26. Now let's talk about badge thresholds. A lot of the badge threshold requirements are the same, but there were some small changes, so just pay attention as you're making your builds. You don't want to miss one by just a couple attributes. And any badge requirement that had 3 attributes tied to it, for example, box out beast, last year it was offensive or defensive rebound plus strength. This year, they dropped all those 3 requirement ones down to 2. So now box out beast is just offensive or defensive rebound. There's no strength involved. So
Julian, what's up?
Pay attention as you're making. Like I said, you're going to notice a lot of the requirements are the same. So it kind of helps streamline the build making process, because a lot of us have those thresholds already ingrained in our head from last year. But definitely just take a second look to make sure you're not missing or defensive rebound. There's no side to it. For example, box out beast, last year it was offensive or defensive rebound plus strength. This year they dropped all those 3 requirement ones down to 2. So now
Mason,
Box Out
thanks
Beast
for
is just
liking live. I
offensive
appreciate you.
or defensive
Eddie, what's
rebound.
up?
There's no strength involved. So
A Vargas, what's up?
pay attention
Hanson
as you're
Gary,
making.
what's
Like I
up?
said, you're going to
Logan,
notice
what's
a
up?
lot of the requirements are the same. So it kind of helps streamline the build making process because a lot of
Ryan,
us
what's
have
up?
those thresholds already ingrained in our head from last year. But definitely just take a second look to make
don't
sure
know
you're
what your
not
name
missing
said.
anything. Because like I said, sometimes it
XXY,
is tweaked and you
XXM,
could
what's
probably
up?
save
Danny,
attributes
what's up?
somewhere because you
Mario,
don't
what's up?
need certain, like you know, if you want just gold Box Out Beast, you just need 85 rebound, offensive or defensive. You don't need to put your strength up to whatever the requirement was last year. So just pay attention as you
Sydney,
do things. I
Mario
remember
wanted to shout you out,
Versatile
so what's up?
Visionary, they dropped the requirement for
Will,
that. I
what's
think
up?
it's like
TNG,
70
what's
for
up?
bronze and 78 for silver now. So definitely pay attention as you're looking at the badge requirements. But let's talk about badge tiers. These are really, really important, as we talked about quickly earlier, because of the badge max +1 and +2. You know, you get
Mario, make
one
sure
each in the
you
tier
follow
1,
me,
one each in the
'cause
tier
I
2, plus
did
your
what you
build
asked me to.
specialization. A whole lot of stuff going on with the badges. So
Is there
pay
anything
attention to the
specific that you want me
badge
to
tiers.
say?
Some things have changed as you flicker between, you know, different heights. You'll see on the
Austin, what's
bottom,
up?
badges switch from tier 1 to tier 2 based on height. A major change that I noticed was now 6-8 players, lightning launches in the tier 2 category. So you could use your tier 2 badge max +2 on lightning launch and put it from silver to Hoff on a 6-8 player. So that is really important.
6-8
Make sure you
game.
not only pay attention to the badge tiers, but what badges may have switched from tier 1 to tier 2 from last year that maybe you had ingrained in your head. Let's move on to relevant badges. In the menu now, you can click R3 while you're hovering over an attribute, and you're going to see badges down below that are tied to that attribute will highlight in like a bluish, kind of greenish, like a turquoise. I don't know. You tell me what color it is in the comments. I mean, I'm bad at this, but they will highlight the badges that are tied to the attribute that you're
They had
over.
that last
It's just a
year,
small
didn't they?
quality of life thing, but definitely for newer players, it probably is nice to see like, okay, this attribute will help me get these badges. Like I said, for more experienced players,
could've sworn they had that
you're
last
probably
year.
never going to use it, but for newer players or players looking for more help and guidance in the builder, definitely a valuable tool to use. Let's talk about attribute weights real quick. A lot of the attributes
That shit's
feel
so
relatively
sour.
similar in how expensive they are at specific heights, but certain things that I noticed, things like driving layup felt like it was a bit cheaper. Pass accuracy felt like it was a bit cheaper. So pay attention as you're going through the builder. You know, it might look so similar, but there are these small little changes that could really have an impact on how good your build ends up being. And more importantly, how much you end up liking your build. You know, you could make a build and then be like, man, I didn't realize like I could have got all this pass ac, or, you know, I could have just went 1 inch shorter and got my lightning launch in you know, a different tier, so then I could have used my badge max +2 in a different spot. Like there's just so many little different factors that if you really utilize them correctly, you're going to be able to make some crazy builds on NBA 2K26. But if y'all want to check out a Kevin Durant build that 2K says has no weaknesses, click that video on the screen right there. Let me know what you think.
I started my degree in
let's see who we
1986.
can
30
go watch
years later.
next. I'm looking for the 6-8 bills first. 6-8. First of all, why am I not in my subscriptions? Super Defender. Okay, subscriptions. I know I want to watch Koza. Oh man, I wish my computer wasn't going so slow today. I don't know why it's going so slow. 6'11" KD bill. Every 7'4" build. 40 bills in one video. I'm gonna come back to that one. I wanna see a 6'8" bill first. Simply grinding. Let's see if he made it a point guard or small forward, even though it's LeBron on the picture, but
If you're looking for a build that can literally do it all, you came to the right place. This 6'8" demigod ISO build gets a 92 perimeter defense, granting you the ability to clamp everybody. Gets a 93 mid-range rating, unlocking Hall of Fame set shot specialist on a tall ISO build. Gets an 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical, unlocking all the pro contact dunk animations in the entire game. Gets a maxed out 86 ball handling rating, so you can equip all the best dribble moves for 6'8" builds. And on top of all that, gets nearly a maxed out speed and maxed out agility, so you're doing all this as fast as possible. And that's before we max +2 our lightning launch to get Hall of Fame lightning launch, max +1 our set shot specialist to get legend set shot specialist, and before we use our eventual cap breakers to get a 93 driving dunk for gold posterizers. And y'all, you know what the crazy thing is? That was only using one max +2 and one max +1. You're gonna have at least 2 of each. Yeah, this build is insane. What's good, Simply Squad? It's your boy Demigod grinding. And listen, y'all, we got a lot of changes in the builder we need to cover. So real quick, if you want NBA 2K26 for free, all you have to do is subscribe with notifications on and comment down below what height build you want me to showcase next. I'll be choosing the NBA 2K26 giveaway winner in tomorrow's video, so make sure
advertisement?
anytime you see a noti, you click it super fast. Now y'all, I know the builder looks weird. It might even look a little overwhelming at first, but I promise it's very similar to NBA 2K25 with a few small changes. The first change you need to know is your speed cannot be lower than your speed with ball. And the way 2K made this possible is once your speed with ball goes higher than your speed, it starts to automatically raise your speed at the same time. Now the good news is this change only affects small guard builds. Why? Because small guards usually have a 91 speed with ball.
Can y'all hear that thunder outside? Dang. Relentless.
Donkey Kong Bonanza, only on Nintendo Switch 2. Donkey Kong.
Ball, which means if you want that attribute, you will be forced to have a 91 speed as well, which I'm sure you know costs a ton of attributes. 6'8" builds though can only have a max speed with ball of an 80, which by the way is 2 points higher than NBA 2K25 where your max speed with ball was a 78. And it also means you don't have to worry about the speed change when making tall guards, which leads to tall guard builds looking absolutely insane. And don't worry, if you're still confused, you'll understand as we make this build. So let's get into it. This build's position is going to be a shooting guard. The only reason for that being that the higher position you go, the more weight you can put on your player. So if you're looking to add strength in your builds, going shooting guard or small forward for your tall guard builds is going to be ideal. And the two things I knew I wanted in this build was one, I needed a 92 plus rating in one of my shooting attributes, and I also still wanted to have a relatively long wingspan so I could take advantage of my 6'8" height. So after seeing that I would have to have a 6'8" wingspan to get a 93 3-point rating, I decided I was going to upgrade my mid-range instead, which means the build we're going with today is 6'8", 185 pounds with a 6'10" wingspan. And the first thing we're upgrading is of course our 93 mid-range. Hall of Fame set shot specialist on a tall ISO build is insane. The fact that we have a pure green window this year and you have such a high rating in one of your shooting attributes, you are going to be absolutely sparking it with the best possible jump shots tall guards can get. Now because I'm such a shooting threat on this build, I definitely wanted to have finishing to counteract it when they play up on me. So I decided to go 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical to get silver posterizer in all the pro contact dunk animations. You might have already peeped, but yes, the requirements are the exact same. For tall guards, the requirement for each contact dunk animation is pro contact dunks are 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical. The next tier of contact dunks is 96 driving dunk and 82 vertical, and the absolute best driving dunk package you can get is a 99 driving dunk and a 90 vertical. And in my personal opinion, 89 driving dunk and 78 vertical is the perfect sweet spot if you're trying to have a build that can literally do it all. If you watched my gameplay video yesterday, you know that performing contact dunks with the dunk meter on tall builds is ridiculously easy on NBA 2K26. Not only is the green window huge, it doesn't falter and get smaller smaller as you get closer in the paint like it does for small guards this year. I'm telling you, bro, I was not expecting to be a tall guard enthusiast this year, but man, I might have to join the dark side again, and y'all are gonna understand once you see this finished build. The
Like,
next
do y'all
thing we
hear
did
that?
is
Like, come
maxed out our ball handle at an 86 rating. Now, I will say this might actually be overkill. You might not need an 86 ball handle on tall guards to speed boost and dribble effectively. That all depends on what the best animations in the game happen to be. But for day one builds, we're not trying to min-max anything. We're trying to make sure that we do not waste our money. And guaranteeing that you can use every single dribble move that 6'8's unlock means you have virtually zero risk of wasting your money on this build, which I absolutely love. After that, we upgraded our speed with ball to a 76 to get silver lightning launch. Don't worry, we're gonna raise this even further later. At this point in the build, I just wanted to make sure that I could still get elite defense, because right now my build is looking amazing offensively. So we're just gonna keep it at 76 as a placeholder, and we're gonna come back to it. And speaking of defense, we are going to have a 92 perimeter defense and an 85 steal on a 6'8" ISO build. I know that y'all probably don't remember 2K24, but I'm hoping you remember just how big 6'8" was on that game whenever you played on the 2's court. I remember I made a 6'8" build first, and not only was it impossible to guard me, it was impossible to score on me. My player was so big and long. Pause, bro. Please don't click off the video. Chill. But genuinely, that build was a menace, and it had worse stats than this one does. Now, I wanted to actually see all the defensive badges I would unlock, so I went over to my physicals and I put an 86 speed and an 80 agility. Having nearly a 90 speed on a 6'8" player that's taking long steps up the court is insane. I absolutely love it. And seeing that the build is almost nearly finished, we had a major decision to make. Now, the good news is this decision only matters the first day or two of NBA 2K26, because I made sure to cook so much with this build that no matter what you decide, you will get both options. But for right now, the decision you have to make is, do you want a 93 mid-range and a 77 speed with ball so you get Hall of Fame set shot specialist, or do you want a 92 mid-range and an 80 speed with ball? Now, there's a couple factors that you need to consider when making this decision. Like I said, no matter what you decide, you're gonna get both after a couple days, whether it's through your build specialization where you get one cap breaker, or whether it's just you repping up and you get cap breakers naturally. The build is gonna end up having both. But for your day one experience, you need to decide, is having Hall of Fame set shot specialist better, or is having a higher speed with ball better? Now, more good news is you can't go wrong either way. Let's talk about the speed with ball first. If you decide to keep a 77 speed with ball and go a 93 mid-range for the Hall of Fame shooting badge, you still unlock Zach LaVine dribble style
Zach
on your
LaVine.
6'8" build. And if you don't know, Zach LaVine dribble style, which requires a 75 speed with ball, is being hypothesized as the best dribble style for tall guards by a mile. Basically, the reason being that you can speed boost super quick.
Okay, I want
As
to
quick
see
as
build
possible.
names.
Again, no matter what you decide,
Honestly.
gold shooting badges, gold defense badge, put it on and you get Hall of Fame lightning launch. After that, you finish your lightning launch, Hall of Fame set shot specialist, which you can max +1 to legend set shot specialist. So you have Hall of Fame lightning launch, legend set shot specialist, and gold defensive badges with a 92 perimeter.
No weaknesses. Two-way mid-range slasher. That sounds like something I made last year.
Always sag off me and think I'm just going to be an old head driving
Kobe.
in the paint. And if you look at our top attribute section, we have an A mid-range, an A perimeter defense, an A- driving dunk. Our strengths mention defense because we have a 92 perimeter defense, mentions our ability to shoot middies, mentions our ability to finish, and mentions our ability to ISO. And what does it say
Go
for
back to
weakness?
that.
Sag off me. And people always, if you make this build, you will get the build name two-way mid-range slasher, which I absolutely love, because anytime I have slasher in my build name, people always assume that I can't
Kobe.
shoot. Even though it says mid-range right there, they always say Kobe 26. Not only
shit.
is the green window huge, it does get two of them. One, I would highly recommend you put on lightning launch so you get Hall of Fame lightning launch. And honestly, forget the second max +2. If you're worried about, oh, it's gonna be too much of a grind, so let's say you level up in the season, you get on my 6'8", assume that I can't shoot. Even we have a 92 perimeter defense, mentions our ability to shoot middies, mentions
No
our ability to
weaknesses is
finish,
crazy.
and mentions our ability to ISO. And what does it say for weaknesses? Oh yeah, that's right, we have none. For all of y'all that say that YouTubers clickbait and say demigod this, demigod that, this build can quite literally do it all. But I did want to show y'all that even with terrible SIGs on, the build was moving styles. in the comments what you would change about this build. Are you gonna tweak it at all? Or are you just gonna?
I need Koza build. He makes like, I feel like Koza plays the close to how I play. He actually be passing the ball, so I do want to watch Uncle Demi's video. He got 40 builds in one video. I just want to see the build names, honestly. Backline 3-level dimer. If that's a name, that's a name. Like, Coach, I need you to upload a build video, not no over dribbling. Yeah, he don't got no build videos yet. All right, let's go watch Uncle Demi. Where is it? I mean, not Uncle Demi. Shakedown.
Roaches, you keep giving them space and they keep taking more. Like that jerk next to you in the window seat in the plane. Shadow.
Shakedown.
Roaches, you keep giving them space and they keep taking more. Like that jerk next to you in the window seat in the plane.